Alright, let's see if this works. I got a phone call in the middle of the last video, or last live, and it seems to shut off my video, so this is part 2. So we've got our Kangaroo made, and normally I would turn this into a pendant, but the customer wants a pin. So I have these pins that I can solder on. So we're gonna solder this guy on. And let me make sure the chat is on. Okay, chat is on. Everything should be good. My glasses make everything fuzzy. All right, so we're gonna solder this on using rosin core lead-free solder. I just flattened it out with my pliers, and I'm just gonna snip off a little chunk that doesn't go there. So I have this little piece here. So I'm gonna bring it down here. So first I want to make sure that this round piece here will fit within the body there. So it actually fits perfectly. Awesome. If it didn't, I would take this, grab it with a pair of pliers, and then trim down the edges of the circle here. But this fits. So I'll put this guy right there. I'm going to grab 2 of my forceps. These are 8-inch forceps. And I'm going to get this thing . Okay, so that's on there. Can you guys see that? This is my iPhone. It's an iPhone 8 Plus, I think. Yep. I haven't upgraded because the camera on this works really well. The hard part for me was finding another app that I do my videos to where I can zoom in and out with my selfie screen, and with this way I can still see the comments and be able to adjust what you guys are looking at and be able to see it myself. Okay, so I have my rosin core solder. I flattened it out. It's a little piece under here. My 2 8-inch forceps. Clamped it down from either end. Just got my propane torch here. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. So I'm just going to heat the whole piece. And we're just going to watch for that pin to just kind of settle in. Should be pretty close. I'm going to take a piece of leather and just kind of wipe out that solder. I always like to set the solder first before I take, and I'll dip this into my bucket of water. So we have just a little bit of solder left in there. Ouch, forgot it was a pin, just poked myself. We're gonna come back to this little bit. Just check, make sure it fits in there. Yep. And just where this solder is, the shiny piece right there, I'm just gonna knock that off. Turn it around from the front, make sure it looks good there. Okay. Just make sure all my edges are good. Everything is darkened up a little bit, and you want to make sure you pull on this really good. Okay, so that's definitely on there. Good. Before I put it in the tumbler, I always sign and stamp everything. So I have this little tiny, it's just a ball bit. It's the smallest one that comes in one of those packs of like 32. And then I have this little stamp that I had made for me with my logo. Get rid of the block. So I'm just gonna put the stamp right here on his head. Oh, I got one more thing to put on there. So you guys can't see it. I wonder if, I don't know if it would work or not. You can just barely see the logo in there. It's the logo from my card. It's this guy right here. So if you go real small, I think it's 2 millimeters top to bottom. And then I'll take, I need to put in the eye, which I should have already done. So this is going to be a little trickier. So I have the pin going down through there. I want my eye to be about there. Okay, that still looks good. That's on there. Let's put a date on it. What is this? September? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So we are 9/20. Take that down a little bit. So there we go. We've got our logo and 9/20. So that's when this kangaroo was born. And now it's a pin. So I can take and buff this up real quick. And there we go. Kangaroo pin. I should be hopping on here more often. No, this solder, the solder that's used for wiring is normally electrical solder. It is rosin core, but this has 40% tin, 60% lead. It is rosin core, sorry. It is rosin core. This rosin core that I use for jewelry and stuff is all lead free. It's 93 or 97.3. I also have acid core that I've used before for metalwork stuff. Why is that so bright? There you go. I've used this stuff before, trying it out. A lot of times what I end up using is this giant, it's lead-free solder. I mean, it is really, really thick in comparison. The rosin core is just super easy. With this, you have to use a flux, and with this one here, you don't need to because the flux is built into it. It makes these simple solders just really quick. So what I'll do now is take this guy, toss him in my tumbler over here. Put this guy right here and go on to the next one. Yeah, it's taken me a while to figure out all of these different solders, what to use, what works, what doesn't work. And then you build up kind of like this. Figure out what pliers work, what pliers don't, and then you end up with a whole bunch, and you can use just about anything. It all works. The quality of it working and how durable it needs to be is just the difference. Okay, so we are, I think it's 5 o'clock-ish, maybe. I have one more of these guys to make, but I think my wife told me I needed to go into town to meet them for dinner. So I thank you guys all for joining me. I will be on here live a lot more, as I have a ton of work to do here in the shop, and I might try a time lapse of me getting the shop rebuilt. I gotta tear it apart some more. Yeah, I've never tried soldering or welding the spoons together yet, the stainless, but I just bought some stainless rods. I have a little stick welder that I'm going to try tinkering with while it's still warm out. But for the most part, all my stuff is just soldered with the torch. And with this guy, my new acetylene torch, I'll be dabbling more with silversmithing and trying to incorporate that into there. Yeah, I have a ton of blades. I have boxes I probably have 80 pounds of stainless silverware fork spoons and knife blades, because all the knives where I take the blades out of, I thought I just tossed one in here this morning. There it is. So this morning I had to make a refrigerator magnet. So this guy here's still so I just cut it at an angle on this piece, and this will become, I'm going to put a flat piece of copper on top like a roof, and then this can be put into a planter. So I saw this the other day and I thought it would be cool to try. The refrigerator magnets are really popular, but I don't like wasting anything. The only thing that was really wasted from here was that tiny little triangle bit. So it goes that way. But I'm always trying to use everything. But I will talk to you guys later, and I hope to see you again. Yeah, so if you can flick the handles, you'll hear a ting instead of a thunk. I'm about 80%, 85% for getting the right, getting them hollow, but still I end up with solid ones. They're either filled with resin, a mortar mix. I've seen some filled with wood shavings like sawdust and stuff like that. I've seen just about everything now. But yeah, if you can flick the knife handles and they go ting, then they're hollow most of the time. The ones that are solid, you can drill out the cores, but it takes so long, and it's just a pain. I've seen a lot of people start taking little cutoff wheels, like this one's a diamond wheel, but they'll use a lot of the cutoff wheels for the Dremels and go right down the side, right down the seam, because these are put together, they're soldered together down the seam. So if you cut this right along there and along here, you'll be able to just pop that right off of the mortar that's inside, and you don't have to mess with all of that. It just takes a little bit to grind, or to cut through just the metal on those. So that'll save you time. And what happens, what I see a lot of people do, is if they cut these off, they're so light that they become great earrings. I've seen people turn them into bracelets, just about anything. I mean, you can cut out the patterns on these and turn those into earrings or pendants. So I've saved up all my solid ones for forever now. So I'm just going to go through one day and probably cut up a whole bunch of them and see what I can do with them. I don't like wasting anything, so I don't throw anything away. Alrighty. Alright, I'll stop talking now and I will see you later. Thank you. Have a good day.